So we got the sun in Taurus. So when the sun is in Taurus, you have 30 days to get your shit right as far as stability, being stable, and having a practicality plan, aka down to earth. Because Taurus is basically the bull sign. So this is the down to earth, fixed earth sign. So when we talking about a fixed sign, that means this sign is fixated in his own way of thinking, fixated in his own way of being practical, fixated in his own way of being stubborn, fixated in his own way of five senses, aka fixated in the way they hear things, fixated in the way they smell things, fixated in the way they eat things, fixated in the way they see things. So of course, you can't move these people around. They like rocks. They're very stable. But of course, they take their time and make sure things is basically being marinated. And of course, they're going to make sure that mac and cheese is going to hit your belly in the right way. They're not going to be the types to have that shit watery down. They're going to make sure that motherfucking barbecue chicken, that toast, them tomatoes are fried properly, aka fixed properly. They're going to make sure they put their grandma's shoulders in them shits. Feel me? They're going to make sure that food is fixated in your belly. And of course, when we talk about the sun in Taurus, we also got Uranus here trying to take this into perspective, because you already know Uranus falls in Taurus. So what does that mean? That means Tauruses, they don't like change and they hate change. Of course, when they have to experience change, then that's gonna be the time where you're gonna have to really see that real Taurus come out of that motherfucking, come out that rock and fucking rock your ass. AKA, Tauruses are like turtles. Feel me? They move in their shell. They move real slow. But if you fuck with that turtle shell, you fuck with his comfortability, you fuck with his security, you fuck with his home, that motherfucker she gonna show you that, okay, alright, cool. You picked the right rock to fuck with, motherfucker. You picked the right rock to fuck with. And that Taurus is gonna show themselves to you. Feel me? In an aggressive manner. Because that's like the other side of AKA Aries. And of course, that's the other side of Gemini. So of course, when you have the other side, that means they're not really fast talkers, but they can basically comprehend on fast talkers. And of course, Tauruses like to be stable. Feel me? They like to make sure that whatever they're thinking about is making sense. It's being practical. It's being used. Earth signs, they deal with the here and now. They're not really dealing with the past. They're not really dealing with the future. Feel me? They like to take their time and make sure one day at a time, one task at a time. Tomorrow's another day, aka that you get the phrase from tomorrow's another day. Majority, that was a phrase from an earth sign too, feel me? Because of course, an air sign would like to basically go in the past, go in the future. A fire sign would like to just basically go into reality, aka looking at the future. So of course, the earth sign like to basically deal with the here and now. So of course, when this perspective play out, we got the sun in Taurus now. So of course, everybody gonna be basically dealing with this energy. And of course, we all got a Taurus in us, so you can't really sit here and say you ain't got no Taurus in you, feel me? That's the problem with certain people and shit. They talk shit about a zodiac sign the whole time. They don't know their rising sign, they don't know their moon sign, they don't know shit. These are what you call religious talkers. People that just talk shit but don't know shit, feel me? These are the people that just celebrate their birthdays and just look at it like as it's a motherfucking date. But it's way more to a date. It's way more to that spectrum. It ain't just one way of looking at it. It ain't just one piece of looking at it, feel me? Also, we got a motherfucking moon. The moon, your emotions. You're dealing with your 24/7. This is 24/7 right here, feel me? This is 24/7. See, the moon is number one. The moon is the fastest moving planet. That's why people take these moon rituals very serious. That's why these people take these moon harnessing very serious, because of course the moon moves very fast. The moon goes into a sign every 2 days or every 2.5 days, and the moon is your feelings and emotions, your macabre. Without a moon, you won't have a physical body. Remember, your soul is your moon. It's controlling your body. Without your soul being in your body, you're fucking dead. So of course you gotta pay very close attention to your feelings and emotions. You gotta protect that shit. Protect it, mother it, nest it, care for it, love it. Feel me? And if you ain't taking care of your motherfucking moon, somebody gonna come take care of your moon for you, aka possess your moon. control your moon, control your feelings and emotions. And of course, you got to be vibrating on the highest frequency ever, especially in this crazy ass year, these crazy times. Feel me? Bringing revelations down. So this ain't no time to be basically being on no weak shit. This ain't the time to be hiding. This is the time for real spirits to come out and express themselves, be themselves. Feel me? Ain't nothing to hide anymore. Ain't come out the closet. Ain't nothing to be hiding about. Feel me? Get your ass up out that motherfucking closet and express your motherfucking ass. Real shit. This ain't the time to be sitting back and allowing shit to basically play into that revenue. This is the time to get in your bag, get in your spiritual bag, use these energies, harness these energies, and get right with your motherfucking self. Cause we ain't playing this year. They ain't playing with you this year. They trying to get rid of you. So what you gonna do? You gonna sit back and allow these motherfuckers to get rid of you, or you gonna stand your ground? And of course, put yourself in the highest frequency vibrations and energetic space on a day-to-day basis. Just like how that moon rotating every motherfucking 2 hours. You need to make sure that you feeling good every 2 hours. You need to make sure that you adding good feelings and emotions. Making sure you harnessing these energies. Making sure you're marinating these energies. Making sure that you're making sure these energies play out into your perspective. Not allow a motherfucker to control your tides. Now allow a motherfucker to basically put rainbow or chlorine in your motherfucking pools, your feelings and emotions, and try to mix you and try to basically make you drink the motherfucking Kool-Aid. No, this ain't Jim Crow's in this motherfucker. We not doing that shit. So if you allow a motherfucker to Jim Crow you, then that's your fault. You drunk the Kool-Aid, motherfucker. Now you about to choke on all that poison ass Kool-Aid that he poisoned your ass with. And if you ain't got the right mind, the right mentality to basically stabilize that shit, then damn, I don't know what to tell you, motherfucker. Reincarnation is the only way that you're gonna basically see through that other spectrum. And of course, when we got this motherfucking sun in Taurus, we got the moon in motherfucking Virgo. We got Mercury in Taurus. The way you think and communicate and analyze is going to be in a more practical way. You also got Venus in Taurus. So the love that you give out and express and offer is going to be very lustful. It's going to be very jealousy going on. A whole lot of possessiveness. A whole lot of love of being fixated. A whole lot of material and things of that nature. A whole lot of love matters going on. And of course, you got Mars in Cancer, which our passion, our motivation, our energy is compromised during this time and is put towards home, family. So you may have to protect your family during this time. You may have to protect your home during this time. You may have to protect your space, protect your moon, aka inwardly. You need to harness these energies so you can, whatever you're trying to manifest, can play out into these revenues. Of course. And if you don't know, if you're not into astrology, then it's cool. Then the stars won't be into your ass neither. That's just how it play the fuck out. Feel me? That's how it fucking play out. You gotta use everything in this world is a tool. You're supposed to use it, not get lost into it. Now look at it like, oh yeah, I ain't into that shit. No, you're supposed to use everything as your bitch. You're supposed to use your pillows as your bitch. You're supposed to use your ceiling as your bitch. You're supposed to use your phone as your bitch. You're supposed to use your car as your bitch. You're supposed to use a pen to make sure whatever you're writing on that motherfucking paper to manifest in all possibilities as your bitch. Supposed to program the pussy and go in that pussy and fuck that pussy real good. Like your bitch as your bitch. Feel me? That's it, that's all. We never said get lost into the motherfucking source. So everything ain't true until you actually get into it. But of course, people, places, and things lie. But the stars is gonna tell the truth to you. Stars won't lie to you. Stars gonna basically put it into your face, whether you hate it, like it, or love it. Feel me? They're gonna tell you the truth. And of course, there's only 3 things in this world: the lie, the truth, and of course, the sun. So the sun will be the truth. The moon, see now, the lies will be the lies will be the sun, because don't trust this motherfucking sun that you up under. For me, it's an illusion. Don't get lost into that shit. You're gonna have somebody's story. You're gonna have his story, her story, and you're gonna have the motherfucking truth, which is the motherfucking moon, the stars. Stars gonna tell you the motherfucking truth. Now when we got Jupiter in Aquarius, so our wisdom, our knowledge, and our expansion and growth is in a fixated sign, aka Aquarius. Unique, originality, expansion, growth. Now we're gonna add this, and we're gonna basically take things into perspective as far as how we can be far out thinkers, humanitarian, aka have luck. And of course, you got Saturn in Aquarius, which is limitations, responsibilities, stability, grounding, firm, structure. And of course, a whole lot of motherfucking Saturn and Aquarius energy is going on. But of course, we can't allow this shit to put us in stagnated energies. We got to keep fighting every day. And of course, you got Uranus in Taurus. Now Uranus and Taurus, that's a bad fucking mix. We gonna have a red sky soon. Whole lot of shit. Whole lot of food shortages. Whole lot of crazy shit going on in this world. Fake food shortages to get you scared and more fear, so they can take over your motherfucking farms and have you eat what they gonna create. GMOs, more GMOs. Everything in this world ain't real at all. Cause if it was real, it would never die. And your spirit can never die, but your soul can never die, but your body gonna fucking die. Then also we got Pluto in Capricorn. So when Pluto is in Capricorn, that means death, rebirth, transformation is in our status, is in our career. As you can see, people is closing down small businesses, shutting them shits down, shutting down schools. A whole lot of shit going on. The stars don't lie. Stars are gonna tell the truth. And of course, we got Neptune and Pisces, so they got you living in a motherfucking dream, an illusion, imagination, a fantasy. And of course, they got you living that shit. So if you're living in somebody else's dream right now, then of course this is what you're gonna experience. Nightmare on Elm Street. You don't want that shit. Also, we got Chiron and Aries. So our self-expression is in traumas during this time. Our passions and trauma during this time is in a state of awareness where I don't want to be. So of course you're gonna have to work real hard to get that shit right. Then we got North Node and Gemini. So be curious about everything. Learn everything during this time. This is the time to basically know more about yourself during this time. So read a whole lot of books about yourself. AKA the book is within you. You don't really need a book to find shit out. But of course, everybody got their own way of looking at things, learning things. But of course, the answers will always be inside you, no matter what the circumstance situation is. Then of course, we also gotta have South Node in Sagittarius. So that means, yeah, don't think big about what they told you. And of course, don't get lost in the source. But be aware whatever they telling you, it ain't really true. So that means you need to have this opposite spectrum, this opposite polar opposite that you're dealing with. You need to basically, for me, do that zigzag. You're supposed to go up, come back down a little bit. Go up, then come back down a little bit. It's a time percentage. And also, we got Moon in Virgo. This is a grand trine. So when the grand trine is in the sky, this is the time for you to basically harness these energies. Take these energies into a perspective that's called practicality, stability, honing in on these energies, making sure these energies is playing into your way and your spectrums and your way of doing things, and making sure these energies is playing into your favorite stability, aka Earth. Now Earth is down to Earth, so we got to get down to Earth. We got to be more practical with our goals and our gifts on this time. So when we got Moon in Virgo here, this is the time to be more organized. This is the time to get shit right with yourself. This is the time to nourish and love and care for yourself, or be a service to yourself, or be a service to others during this time. This is the time to basically get right with yourself. This is the time to not indulge into things that's not going to help you during this time. This is the time to get right with yourself. So of course, if you got this in your first house, you're gonna be analyzing the details when it comes to your personality. You may have to get rid of something that don't suit your personality, or it's gonna get rid of itself in its own perspective, as in this personality, as in this expression. It's gonna switch up. It's gonna change. And it's also a Scorpio rising. When you got this in your second house, you're gonna be valuing details. You're gonna have to value the details, whether this thing should be in your life or should be out of your life. Also, you need to find balance in this perspective too. You got Virgo in the third house. You're gonna have issues on valuing your thinking, your communication during this time. Try not to be all over the place. Feel me? But of course, go through these experiences so you know what to look at the details and get rid of during this time. When you got Virgo in the fourth house, you're basically gonna be dealing with spectrums of looking at the details when it comes to your home. You may have to clean this shit up. You may have to fix certain things in your house and make sure it get right. You got Virgo in the fifth house. You'll be looking at the details in your self-expression. But is this a good expression, or should I fix this up? You got Virgo in this house, in the sixth house. This is looking at your daily routine, your work ethics, and on a day-to-day basis. Get that right. If you got Virgo in the seventh house, it's looking at the details of your relationships, your partnership. Is it working or not? If you got Virgo in the eighth house, it's basically looking at the details of your desires. Are these desires good for me or not? Virgo in the ninth house, looking at the details when it comes to experiences. Are these experiences good for me, or should I switch up? Virgo in the 10th house, status, looking at the status and details of your career. Is it good or not? Virgo in the 11th house, looking at the status and association when it comes to details and the people you associate yourself with. Virgo in the 12th house, Pisces, looking at the details when it comes to your dreams.